Hi, I'm Bailey. In this video, we're going to talk about different levels of hearing loss, um, ear parts, and how they work, and compare cochlear implant to those ear parts, and my personal experience growing up with cochlear implant, and personal opinions of other things that might be beneficial for the society. Um, I'm going to apologize in advance. Um, I might be a little all over the place because I didn't really plan my conversation out, but um, toward to the end, I will be signing a little bit as I tell you about my personal experience while growing up with the cochlear implant. So I apologize if I'm all over the place. Anyway, let's move on. About the hearing loss, there are 4 levels of hearing loss: mild, moderate, severe, and profound. Mild is where you have difficulty hearing soft speech and conversations, especially in a noisy environment. Moderate hearing loss is difficulty with understanding speech, especially in presence of background noise. Severe is regular speech is inaudible, difficulties even with loud speech. And profound is even amplified speech is difficult to understand or even inaudible. Excuse me. Coffee. I love coffee. By the way, this room is a little cold, so if you notice my blanket, that's why. About the hearing loss. When I was born, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 1 year old with profound hearing loss. My parents have seen some signs that I may be deaf. Like my mom was calling my name as I was crawling away from her as a baby. And she was like, why aren't you responding to your name? But she probably passed it off and thinking, oh, maybe she's just not paying attention or something. The other one is where my aunt noticed it, and she was a school nurse, by the way. She noticed it and she was like, huh, let's give her a hearing test, like impromptu hearing test to see what happens. Nothing. That was when my parents were notified by her saying, like, hey, take her to the audiologist and get a professional hearing test. And that's how I was diagnosed with profound hearing loss. Now, with my cochlear implant on, my hearing loss with the cochlear implant is mild. So that's why I hate music. If there's music going on in the background and someone's talking to me, I'm constantly like reading their lips, or kids. Like, I babysit a 2-year-old and 5-year-old. They're really loud. And if I'm trying to talk to their parents, like relay information of what happened as I was babysitting them and everything, and half the time I can't hear their voice, so I have to rely on reading lips, which I'm really good at thanks to my training as I was growing up, which I will tell you more about. So we're going to move on to ear parts. Now, please forgive me, but I'm going to put up the diagram of the ear parts up in your view so that you know what it looks like and how it works. So here we go. We have 3 ear parts. We have the outer part, the middle, and the inner. The outer is where the actual ear organ is, and then the ear canal. The middle is the middle parts are the eardrum and the middle ear bones, which are named as hammer, anvil, and stirrup. And the inner part is cochlea. Now how it works is as the sound waves comes to the ear, it bounces off the crevices of your ear and be channeled into your ear canal. And as it travels along, it hits the eardrum, causing it to move and vibrate with the sound waves. And as it vibrates, the middle ear bones moves with it. And as it moves with the eardrum, the stirrup, I believe, hits on cochlea, causing vibrations in the cochlear fluid, and that is where the hair cells picks up that vibration and turns that vibrations into electrical signals. And that electrical signals is picked up by your brain, causing you to hear. Now, the other thing that I want to point out about cochlea, hearing person has on average 30,000 nerves in cochlea, and my cochlear implant only has 22 channels. That's why I hear as a mildly hearing impaired person, while you aren't deaf or hard of hearing, hopefully. If you are, then awesome, you're in my boat! Now, let's compare cochlear implant to the ear parts. Let's start with the outer part, middle, and then inner. My outer part is this cochlear implant right here. The ear part would be these microphone, and these microphone also acts like ear canal, and as the sounds travel to the ear canal for me as a singer, my middle ear, the eardrum, and the middle ear bones is in here. The processor, it translates the sounds into electrical stimulation or electrical signals, either way. And as it translates, it passes it on through here. I guess you could say this is the middle ear bones, but whatever. And as it travels along, it goes on to this coil right here, and it travels into this electrode array, where this magnet will be on this magnet. And as this electrical signals passes through to this magnet, that's where the cool thing happens. This picks up the signal and passes along these coils, which is in cochlea, and it stimulates cochlea when the hairs cannot do its job. And as it stimulates cochlea, the brain picks up that electrical signal, which I think is pretty awesome that they can figure it out that way. So yeah, that's how cochlear implant works. Oh my gosh, I sound loud. That's what happens. That's how cochlear implant works as in a year, and this is kind of a inside joke for me, but every time I have to upgrade my processor, cochlear implant every 5 years, I call it as getting a new ear, because basically that's what it is. I'm getting a new ear, and it's pretty amazing. I don't know if you're interested, but I've attached a surgery video down below in the description box if you're ever curious about how they put this in somebody's head. It's oddly simple, seriously. And it's all animation, so you don't have to worry about seeing blood or smoke or anything like that. But it's I definitely recommend you check it out. Totally check it out.